Well, hi. I suppose a proper introduction is necessary. I've never really introduced myself per se. It's always been a situation where I'm just a voice on the internet. So, this is going to be something I have to think about. I have to think about what I'm going to say here. I don't think I have any notes. And in case you're wondering, these headphones are indeed the old ones. I'm wearing them because they're very loose. They're actually broken on top here, so they don't cut into my head and make they look better. It look better on my head. I figured I need something to hold the mic there because I don't have a desktop mic. Yes, this is gonna take a bit of thinking, but anyway, my name's Andy. I've been on YouTube for 10 years now, or 11 years if you include the original channel. Last year was the 10th YouTube anniversary for the original channel, 2017 to 2007. Last year we had an awesome live stream marathon where we played all those games. We played Rayman 3, Hoodlum Havoc, Crash Bandicoot, the original Crash Bandicoot one. And we played was it Ape Escape 2? Monkeys. So we played that last year, and I never really thanked you all for showing up, making it a great time, chatting, all sorts of stuff. That was probably the best live stream I've ever had. So it was very fun to do that. We didn't raise any money for charity. I try to donate if I can. Um, I started the YouTube channel all back then, and to this day, and it's grown to this date. We're nearly at 4,000 subscribers, almost 4,200 subscribers. That's just amazing, and part of why I want to do this video showing my face for the first time is I want to make more of a connection with YouTube, at least try. Honestly, when it comes to YouTube, I haven't ever thought of doing videos with my face in them because I've given it a thought in the past. I was like, no. Second thought, no, never doing that. And I'm still not going to do that because technically, the technical side of things, it's just another thing for me to set up. I don't even have a webcam. I'm just using my smartphone to record this. It's kind of funky because there's file size limits where it has to stop the recording and restart it every like 4 gigabytes. And it's just another technical hurdle that I have to work with and stuff. And frankly, I'm satisfied with just being a voice in a video. That's fine by me. That's just what my content is, and I don't feel like changing that. Not really. And there's a reason why I've never decided to do this until now, and I'll talk about that in a bit. That's the thing with the internet. I've always been very good with words on the internet. I'm pretty good at English. I know how to write words. I know how to structure a sentence. But when it comes to speaking, I'm kind of a mess. So yeah, I'm just glad YouTube's kind of helped me with that, I guess. Of course, we started in 2010 with doing commentary, and that was probably hard, just as hard as doing this. I don't know. I guess something just spoke to me about that because I guess I was doing let's play playthroughs, gameplay only stuff for years and years, like 2 years up to that point, or maybe three. I don't remember. 2 years, 2008, 2009, 2010. And then we did a Let's Play for the first time, and I'm sure the mic was a shitty quality mic. Up to this point, you know, that's the thing. I'm to this point today, I'm satisfied with the quality of the videos so much over what I used to go back to. It hurts to go back to the old videos because the quality is terrible. There's freaking videos with only one audio and one ear. There's just the video quality is passable, I guess, for standard definition. I just made some odd choices sometimes, like stretching footage where it didn't need to be stretched. I learned a process. I learned how to edit videos. I learned how to work with videos, and I'm very good at editing videos, very good at production work. I'm not tooting my own horn. I think it shows. I have so much fun with it, and YouTube is a very big part of my life, and I can't imagine ever stop doing it, ever stopping doing it. So no, I'm not going to do a lot of face cam stuff. It's going to be a rare, if ever, exception. Maybe unboxing videos. Like usually in unboxing videos, I never show my face. The computer build video, that was the closest thing. You got to see my head in that, but I never showed my face. Um, there's a very good reason for that. Basically, I was never happy. I would never be happy with how I looked on the video. I just felt awkward as hell. You know, just, and I feel that way about my voice sometimes too, how I speak. You know, sometimes I get down on myself because it sounds like I'm just, maybe I ramble on too much or I say stupid things, you know. My commentaries up to this point, it's probably been something I'm never satisfied with, but sometimes I really get good videos where I'm like, I said a lot of stuff. I made a lot of good references. I made a lot of stuff talking about the levels of the games, you know, just the art of game design or whatever, you know, and just being cool. But sometimes there's just videos where I just like, whatever, get it out there. It does happen once in a while, and you know, that's just happens. Sometimes I shouldn't record stuff, and I'm not in the mood for it. You know, sometimes that happens. Most of the time, I stop myself from doing it. So I want to say why I have the confidence to come on camera to talk to you guys face to face, so to speak, for the first time ever, where I've never had that before, and I feel like I'm gonna have more confidence with commentary too. About a month ago, April 26th to be exact, the internet is a good place to gain information. It's a treasure trove of veritable knowledge, you know, and you know. Sometimes I just ignore that. Sometimes, you know, I'm blind to the internet, sort of, you know, just go about my day, go about my way of doing stuff. Of course, I have Twitter. I follow about 200 people on Twitter. I think that's right. 400 people? 400 people. It's growing every day, trust me. Um, somebody retweeted something that kind of didn't think much of at the first. Like, does it really mean what I think it means? Yes, it does. It was a play on words about transgender. And I was like, oh yeah, okay, that's what that means. And then for some reason, I dived deeper into the person who was tweeting it, you know, because they seemed like a nice person. And again, the veritable information on the internet that sometimes you just don't know it's there, you know, like because it's not relevant to your life, sometimes it's not important. But this information that I learned that day on Twitter, it's just, let's see here, what happened exactly? Well, eventually what happened was it led me to a Reddit page. I've been using Reddit a lot lately. Well, reading, lurking. I don't actually post on it. Reddit for, you know, Spyro the Dragon, Jak and Daxter, Crash Insane Trilogy, anything like that. Nintendo, that sort of stuff. So the person on Twitter linked to a Reddit page, I think. called Ask Transgender, and that's where you can kind of expect, you can kind of see where I'm going with this. For some reason, I just thought, well, maybe I should look at that, you know, for some reason. I guess ultimately the person on Twitter just struck a chord and like, it kind of blew my mind, I think, because I never knew this existed. I never knew it was a thing. So that's where I went into Ask Transgender. And then I saw a Reddit post linking to an article, a blog post of sorts. I didn't mention this also. On Twitter, there's actually I'll put in the video description below. There's something I wrote, a letter of sorts, explaining an experience that I had that reaffirmed some things. It was 11 days after April 26th. It was a Tuesday, vividly. And that kind of reaffirmed things for me, definitely. Anyway, so on the Reddit post, there was a link, and I'll link to this too as well. There was a link linking to a blog post about something called indirect gender dysphoria. This struck a chord with me. I read the blog post, and I thought about my childhood. My childhood was, in one word short, isolating, you know? I never really had friends. I never did. I know I don't have friends, you know? I know it's sad. But that's why I don't have friends, because in the Twitter letter I posted that one day, uh, explained it as a brick wall. Something stopped me from wanting to make friends with people, talking to people, you know. I would just, if they tried to talk to me, I'd listen to them, but then they'd leave and nothing more would happen. That happened throughout all of school, all of grade school, all of middle school, all of high school, all 12 years of my life in the school system. Just, it got to me some days. Most times there'd be field trip days, you know, days where we would go out, go to a museum, go to a sports game sometimes, you know, days that we would go to, you know, that's basically it, museums, that sort of thing. And it got to me sometimes. I would, you know, I'd be there, you know, going through the day. I guess I kind of gain interest, you know, about the exhibits or whatever, you know, and then it struck me because sometimes I'd see other kids, you know, other people my age just existing, you know, being there, talking. I'd look at them and they were always girls almost. Like, I can't imagine, I can't remember a time when there was a guy, you know, a boy my age. I couldn't imagine that. It's girls. I I felt very sad. Felt very isolated. Felt very melancholy. You know, just like distant. That happened in grade school. Yeah, that happened all the way back in grade school. I'm pretty sure. Uh, with girls, so that kind of rules it out as being a crush thing. You know, if I had a crush on someone, why would I feel sad? I would feel like butterflies or something, you know. And I never talked to women or girls in school, you know. It's that brick wall I'm mentioning, you know. Like in middle school, I developed crushes on other girls, you know, and never went anywhere because I was too scared to. Again, I'm not very good with words vocally. It's hard for me to get things across sometimes, but yeah, a few times I even came home and cried about it. You know, like, why can't I be happy? Why can't I be with people like that and talk to them and just be, you know? Of course, video games had a big part in making me happy. I'd come home and just play games. And a lot of time in middle school, I would be sick. I'd be physically sick. I'd have flu or whatever. And I'd skip a lot of school. In middle school, especially seventh grade, I just didn't. I had so much makeup work to do. It's just middle school was terrible. I hated middle school. High school definitely got better. I definitely felt a little bit more happy with myself and more easygoing, I guess, that sort of thing. But still, it was even stronger in there when I had a big crush on someone and I couldn't say anything about it. I couldn't. There were like I can count on the number in my hands how many times that I was next to that person. I just So it wasn't. It was probably. It could have been a crush. Sure. I'm kind of over it now, knowing that I'll probably never meet that person again. Um, but it was more than just a crush. It was a fascination with females, I guess, and just how they were. Anything from clothes, talking, or hair. I couldn't explain it. And I couldn't explain it back then, until now. I can understand why I had these feelings and uh, daydreams and sorts of things. Um, so that explains a lot of how I was always transgender, trans, a girl, but I'd never knew until this year about this. Uh, Middle school is the first time where I actually thought about the clothing, and stuff, and didn't really think much of it until I got out of school, and then I could realize since I was an adult, I could buy stuff. And I bought stuff like that, and it didn't really make me happy, but I kept doing it for some reason. I don't know, you know. I mean, I obviously enjoyed it, but it didn't make me happy like it does now. Um, but yeah, the overwhelming sadness I felt, the article I'm linking to is just explains everything, like emotional, crying. There's just those times where I did cry a lot, like over things that probably didn't deserve it. I got angry too. Aggression came out sometimes about school, like there's a reason why I probably didn't want to go to school because I just saw people and people that I could be friends with that I could never be friends with because emotionally I was also dead, like I just went through the daily life of going to school, dreading certain things, like sometimes I wouldn't do my homework or just stuff I didn't want to do. I remember vividly actually in senior year where we were on a field trip that I hated not being able to exist as a person, It's just I it's the same melancholy feeling where I just like, well now what? What am I doing? What am I doing? I mean, I guess that's all I have to really talk about. It's actually quite simple now that I think about it. I mean, it makes too much sense. And the week that I discovered that I was a trans female is just like the happiest moment of my entire life. I felt like all those years where I was emotionally dead, all the way from grade school to high school to graduation, it's just like I was dead, I just moped about, I just like flatlined, Graduation should have been a happy point in my life. I was just like, thank God that's over. It should have been a happy point where I was with other people talking and celebrating, and, wasn't. I do remember one time there was this one girl that invited me to a party of some sort, and I was like, me? And yes, the one girl that I had a big crush on in high school was part of my daydreaming, you know. Anyway, I guess another reason why it's a cool reason why I've always been cartoons, you know. I've always had a you know, cartoons are cool, man. Uh, Cartoons, video games, whatever. You know, let's see what kind of cartoons there are. Rugrats. My favorite Rugrats character is Kimmy. You know, she's a girl. Japanese. I'm not Japanese, obviously, but that's one character I liked a lot. I watched Powerpuff Girls a few times, and I really liked it. I digged it. Digged the superhero vibe of that, or whatever. I liked it because it also had Tom Kenny in it and all sorts of stuff. There's other cartoons I'll watch, like Rocko's Modern Life or Hey Arnold and stuff. That's cool. That's cool stuff. Not necessarily had women in. Like Hey Arnold never had any connection to Phoebe or Helga or whatever. You know, not really. Uh, I'm more connected to Hey Arnold because I'm awkward. I was awkward, you know, but always cool. That's another thing. Kids actually saw me as cool, you know, in high school especially. They actually talked to me and just thought I'm a cool silent type, you know. There's a reason why I'm silent, but you don't know that. I don't know that. I'm just him. Uh, yes, I agonized about not having friends a whole lot. I wish I could have friends, but could never bring myself to do that, you know. And I think if I did have a friend, it would be so awkward, you know. I'd be so anxious about things. Past high school, I actually started learning what LGBTQ plus meant, you know, but the acronym specifically only, you know, and then I knew what those individual words meant, except for trans, obviously. I never understood what that was. I'm like, I don't know why they would want to do that, but good for them. You know, power to them. Never hated that sort of stuff. I just felt like it was weird, you know, like, okay. But it's not a thing you want to do. It's a thing you're pushed to doing one way or another, you know, just to make yourself feel better about who you are and become the real you, the person that you should be, and not the person you were your entire life just existing, you know. Back to cartoons and stuff, the fun stuff. Let's see, Kim Possible. Kim Possible's cool. The Disney show. I watched that a little bit. Let's see, I didn't really watch much of it, but Chippendale Rescue Rangers, Gadget, pretty cool character. There's a lot of cartoons, man. A lot of stuff to go through. Unfortunately, I do not have any DVD sets of cartoons. Avatar: The Last Airbender has Katara. I mean, she's cool. I kind of related more to Sokka though, but because he's a goofball, you know. Or Zuko actually. Zuko is a freaking cool character. Probably my favorite character of that cartoon. I guess you can name them in the comments, and I'll be like, yeah, okay, I get that. Um, Wild Thornberries, kind of, a little. Well, when it comes to video games, I never really thought that way. Although, with games like Hot Shots Golf 4, there's a lot of playable characters, zany characters, female characters, and that. I played as them, you know. Played as all the characters realistically, but I guess Coco Bandicoot's kind of cool, but not really. I mean, there's very few times you get to play as her, right? So, understandable. Animal Crossing was a big one, and actually, within the past year, I think, I started a New Leaf Town as a girl character. Because I never had done that before. Because, in my viewpoint, that's more of an expansion. You know, like, there's content that you don't actually get to experience as a different gender, you know, and I'm probably missing some real big ones. Rocket Power. I don't remember her name. Violet? Whatever. Incredibles, Violet. I like Violet. More than Dash. Violet. It's not a cartoon, but Spy Kids. The girl spy. Who didn't like her, though, right? Although I'd say Carmen was just as memorable as the boy. I think that's about all I have to say about this situation. It's been a month now. Pretty happy with things are going. So that one day, if you read the letter I posted, it was actually a reaffirming day, but it was also a terrible day because I had a major anxiety attack and dysphoria, as it's called. See, I went through my entire life with indirect gender dysphoria, but as soon as I found out that I was trans, it actually hit. It's like this whole thing has been like something was locked away and now it's unlocked. So it's both a good thing and a bad thing, but I wouldn't take it back. You can't really do that. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys and gals and in betweens. We will see you next time on the next video, I guess. Since this is the end of the update and teasers 2018 special update thingamabob. You can follow me on Twitter at vingamersgaming, I think, one or the other. And you can follow me on the personal Twitter, the new personal Twitter I'll be starting up. Links will be in the description for that. The Vingamers Gaming Twitter will just be for updates. The personal one will be for pictures and anything gaming related, maybe. I don't know. Might put gaming stuff on both. But, yeah. It needed to be said, I think. You guys know now. I'm sorry about saying guys if that's triggering anyone, but it's just what I've always said on YouTube, and it's just part of my vernacular, I'll try to stop saying it so much, but I can only do so much. Pronouns are a little bit of no, let's not lie here. They're a big problem, and I'm just like, it's not correct. It bugs me whenever that comes up. So I guess I didn't say anything about coming out, or transitioning. So in terms of the future and things that will be happening, it's not much, honestly. I'm not coming out, basically. I can't see that changing unless something drastically changes in my life. And I'm more than happy to be able to do it on the internet and coming out because it's YouTube and stuff, YouTube's my life and I enjoy doing it a lot, but still I won't be doing any face cam videos all that often. Not sure about that, but do follow me on my personal Twitter if you want to see more about this whole experience, I guess, or hear about it or whatever, or just my life in general, my daily life. Of course, if you want to see updates on the YouTube channel, there's that Twitter. It's always been available, It's been the same one that's always been there, but same goes for transitioning. That's not really gonna happen all that much. Like things to help, like losing more weight, which I've done a lot of lately. The past few years have been pretty nuts in terms of losing weight. Just a little bit more, I've had I've had belly fat for my entire life, and I just don't feel like that's me anymore. Um, there's some things I'm entirely happy with. My height, for example, I'm like 6'4". That's fine by me. I don't care. I embrace that. I embrace my tallness by any means. That's just who I am. Uh, I don't really want to be shorter. That sounds like a terrible idea. um, of course, my hair is long. Fun fact: I've always had long hair. I get it cut every 3 months or so, whatever. In the past, at this point, it's going longer though because it's going on longer because I don't really feel like I want to do that. I've always hated getting my hair cut. Another sign, another sign that I'm the way I am. Uh, this whole thing, this whole experience has overall been a little bit awkward. You know, it's been a little bit surprising. You know, like unbelievable almost, but it's actually happening. I can see myself in the mirror and actually know that I'm a girl, and it's crazy. And I guess that means I'm almost happy with my body. You know, like the biggest hurdle I have is probably shaving, and that's about it. Um, which is probably another reason why I'm not going to transition all the way. Like I'm definitely happy that I can wear the clothes that I want to wear and at home and stuff when I'm not outside in public. You know, that's fun. I like that. um, that's about it. I I don't have anything else to say. I'm really tired actually. I guess talking about this drains me more mentally. Anyway, thanks for watching. Again, I appreciate you being there and watching everything I put up. I'm probably going to go sleep now because I've had a busy day so far.